Welcome back to the Malt Miller YouTube channel, and today we've got something that is much more exciting than that mind-numbingly boring water treatment subject that James keeps on going on about.
Cool. So in one fell swoop, everybody that's really interested in water treatment, you can sailing there is.
All right, we'll go with your tact. Welcome back to the Malt Miller YouTube channel. Now, massive homebrewer points can be gained from serving your beer at home from your own kegerator. Today, we're going to look at how you can up your game because it's project day. We're building a gas management board. So having that pub feeling at home where you're serving your beer out of a kegerator or a Keezer that you've made, or even a kegerator that you've purchased ready-made, it's an amazing feeling to be serving beer to your mates. Now, these setups can be run from one single regulator off of one single CO2 bottle. However, we can really up our game by having different pressures to different kegs for different serving pressures for different beer styles, or indeed serving other beverages that aren't actually beer. We can also be serving a beer at the same time as carbonating one in our kegerator. It's a really handy tool. Now, this is where a gas management board really comes into play. It means that we can have various different pressures to different kegs or beer styles within our kegerator. It also means that we can be carbonating a beer at the same time as serving a different beer. There are also other benefits, and these include having a spare line and being able to use CO2 outside the fridge, and there's loads of different uses around the brewery for this. So some of those other beverages might be, you might want to serve soda water or tonic water, or indeed any type of carbonated wine. It's much easier to do this if you've got dedicated pressures going to dedicated kegs. Plus, for those users of Luca taps out there that are trying to get a check pour, we know that the serving pressure has to be much higher. This is really useful for that. So what we've got here is either a 4 or a 6 secondary regulator mounting board. We've also got a kit for each so that we can join the regulators together. Now, in those kits, you get everything that you need to join the regulators together, the T's, the elbows, the whole lot. We've also got some non-return valves. Now, they're really important, and we'll go into a bit more detail of those later. We've also got some shut-off valves. So at the heart of this gas management board are these secondary regulators from Kegland. They're an awesome product. We've had some fantastic product reviews on them. We use them here extensively at the Malt Miller, and these boards have been designed specifically to use them. And by that, I mean the boards have been pre-drilled. All we need to do is screw them in the right place on the boards. Now, this whole kit is supplied by Kegland, and as with a lot of their other products, this is a really approachable, really simple thing to put together. I love project day. This is going to be cool. Right, let's get into this build. Couple of things to note. Orientation of the board is important. As you can see at the top here, we've got some demarcations. These actually are the top of the board. Tools we need is just a simple Phillips screwdriver. Now, I'll put a link to the screws that I'm using. I'm using stainless steel screws. I'll put a link to those in the comments somewhere around here. Other things to note, these regulators, now we need to know the plane in which we're putting these. Basically, the gauge goes at the bottom. So when they fit on the board, the gauge is at the bottom. Let's get going. I'm going to put the screws in loosely just to start off with. So I'm starting on the very left-hand side of the board. Now, I'm doing this because actually the regulators have each got a real handy overlap on them. So you're not just screwing them to the board, but you're also screwing them together. Also, each of these regulator has an arrow on it to show you what the direction is, but like I say, that direction is flowing so that the gauge is at the bottom. Now I've got them all in loosely, I can just tighten each one individually. Boom, first job done. Next we're going to fit the shut-off valves. Now, these really handy. You can actually use any 5/8 gas line to put this together. We actually really prefer to use these rigid tubing. They're much easier to use and they're completely straight, so we don't have any wafting around at all. On all duo type fittings, there's actually a guide to how far you need to push these in, and it's actually on the outside of the fitting, so they need to be pushed in that far for each one. I'll fit the rigid tubes first. Now you can buy these separately or in a 10 pack. Actually, sometimes it's easier to use like a hard flat surface to push these home. Next, our shut-off valves. Now we're using shut-off valves so that we can turn each individual line off. Yeah, I know that we can turn the actual regulator off, but sometimes it's really handy just to be able to shut off a line if we've got a leak or we want to swap a line out. It's just easier just to turn a shut-off valve, completely seals the line off. Next, we're actually going to connect each regulator together. Now there's a little bit of thinking about here of how this is going to work in your individual setup. We need to decide which end we want the main gas supply to come in. The fittings to join these regulators together come in this handy little pack. All the fittings in here are included. In this instance, I'm going to have the last regulator here on my left hand side. That's the one I'm going to start with. Now we're moving on to the T-pieces. Right, that's all our regulators connected. So the next thing to do is fit our no return valves. Now, no return valves on this type of system are really important. We don't want the possibility of any beer entering the gas line and therefore damaging our regulators. Also, on these no return valves, you'll notice there's an arrow, tells us exactly which way the gas will flow and nothing will come back up through the no return valve. And now we just simply add them to each regulator. So that's my gas distribution board assembled. I've now connected it up to my CO2 supply. I've got my bottle on and my regulator turned off at the moment. I can simply turn my regulator on. I want to set my regulator to the highest demand supply that I'm going to require. So, for example, if I'm serving something like hard seltzer or soda water, it's going to need something around 40 to perhaps 50 psi. So let's set the gauge to 40 psi. So we've got 40 psi's worth of CO2 coming into the gas distribution board. As you can see, I've got everyone turned off at the moment. I can turn them on individually so that they're now supplying gas. I can turn them off completely using the dial on each individual regulator, but I can now start supplying CO2 to individual kegs. And actually, if I put my finger over that one there, you can see the gauge rising on the individual regulators. Okay, so there's a few questions that we constantly get asked about gas management, gas distribution, and here I'll try to cover off some of those. Where am I going to mount this board? Now, personally, I like this outside of my Keezer or kegerator so that I've got eyes on it the whole time. I don't have to open up the unit. So for me, I would be mounting this on the wall, just by the side or behind the kegerator or Keezer that I'm using. And also it means that if I've got a line coming from the distribution board that I don't want to use inside the Keezer, which almost certainly I will, I find it much easier to have it on the outside rather than in the inside of the unit. And of course, sometimes, in fact, quite a lot of the time, you're limited on space inside the unit. It's just much easier to have it on the outside of the unit in most cases. Now, obviously, if we are mounting this board on the outside of our cooling unit, it does mean that we're going to have 4 gas lines running inside the unit, and that needs thinking about. Now, with the Kegland kegerators, they've already got that covered off because there's enough room to have 4 separate gas lines running in, but you're going to need to think about it on your individual system. So in this setup, we're actually using CO2, but there's absolutely no reason why you can't use exactly the same setup with mixed gas. In actual fact, now that we've got this configuration, we could actually slightly alter it, and we could actually have this board supplying both mixed gas and nitrogen, or mixed gas and CO2. We just need to use a stop end on, for example, this last T here. We can then set up this regulator as a nitrogen regulator, for example, for serving nitro stouts. So let's look at serving pressures. Now, the very beauty of this board is that we can vary the serving pressures across each one of these regulators. So for example, I might be using a keg in a cask-like situation. I might have a beer engine connected to it, in which case I'd like one of these regulators set at just 2 or 3 psi just to push the beer out of the keg. For this one, for example, I might want to be serving a lager or a saison, a beer style that requires a higher serving pressure and a higher carbonation. We can turn this up to whatever we like. Moving on, I might have a keg in my kegerator or Keezer that I'm actually conditioning. I want that to be at a much higher pressure while it's carbonating. I might want this one at 20 psi, for example. The very beauty of this board is we've now got the opportunity to be able to do that. I really hope that's covered off most of the questions that you're going to have about this type of gas management board. Just a couple of years ago, making something like this really wasn't available in kit form, plus it was super expensive. We're absolutely delighted to bring this to you at a price point that's going to appeal to a lot of people. Now, we'd really appreciate any questions or thoughts you might have. If so, please put them in the comments below. Also, please do subscribe to our channel and hit the bell for notifications. And obviously you can follow us on all our social channels. Have a great brew.